Alright. Hello guys, welcome back to my stream. Nice to see you finally again. Last week we weren't able to stream because I was quite busy, but today we're going to be working on ZoBee and trying to finish up our textures. And then on Friday we'll be working on the Zillion ASU. So let's not waste any time and go ahead and get started. Also, happy Valentine's Day. um, and let's get some music here. Alright, so one thing I wanted to do was start adding some of the gold parts. So we are missing that. Alright, let me see if I can find that in UV. I'm gonna switch over to UV painting mode. And use this drag function. Okay, and then clean that up. I think I want to pull it down like that. Does come up too much, so alright. Around there. The UV space for this particular piece is pretty small, I think. So that means that, you know, it's gonna look a little bit pixelated, which is fine. Because we don't really see this area that much in the top-down view. Switch back to camera. I do notice that sometimes Substance Painter looks a bit more pixelated than Photoshop when you're painting, so I think going back and cleaning it up in Photoshop might help. But from this distance, you don't really notice how pixelated it looks. Alright, and then we're going to add the gold on our shoes. See if I actually modeled that out, and I did not. And it goes like that. And then she does have some visible skin. What I want to do is add a fill layer on my skin, and then paint away green. And try to make it equal on the other side. Around there. Okay. Then I'm going to go to the UV painting mode. And fill in that space. For those of you that are in chat today, let me know if the music is too loud. And then let's clean it up. Switch over to UV texture mode, of course. Bring up those edges. Same thing for the gold as well. Good enough to me. Maybe I want to kind of smooth out this edge. Like that. Alright, and let's turn off the red and paint in that skin. Turn off the wireframe. I believe that's all the areas of gold. And I'm not sure if it's like a yellow or actual gold. I don't think the other designs in the skin line actually use gold. I guess this is kind of like the gold for that skin line. So maybe we go for that color. I'm actually going to make the base layer a little bit brighter. Adding those areas of highlights. And going down the shoe here as well. We'll get our reference. That works there. And I actually made her hair just a little bit brighter towards the end because we're using a special material in game, and it kind of darkened the hair a little bit. So in order to keep it kind of matched up with the concept, I had to brighten up a little bit on the texture. Might have an easier time doing this in Photoshop rather than trying to rotate in all these different angles in Substance. Yeah, do that later. Let's get some top-down gradient going. So I'm going to make this whole bottom, her legs much darker. We're gonna lower the value and switch or shift the hue towards blue. Turn off the back face culling. Alright, and the skin needs to be darker as well. That looks about right. I notice a lot of people who try to do like Riot Game style textures, they always forget to do the top-down gradient for whatever reason. But that's very important to remember, because that's what gives that like depth in game and actually makes the champion look like they're shaded, like lit top down properly. This is the little bee. That's her yo-yo. I think the eyes are bulging out too much, so I need to fix that on the actual 3D model. But for now, we're just gonna deal with it. Alright, let's see. There's the UVs. Choose a very saturated blue color. I'll try to blend all that. And let's add that little highlight. Like so. Ooh woo. Alright, and then add the little itty bitty smile somewhere around here. Cute. Maybe I'll make it a little bit thicker. There we go. And then add a little blush. Right there's fine. And then get that stripe. Kind of just roughly placing all the elements in the 3D view so that when I jump into Photoshop, I know what I'm looking at. Add some highlight here. And then if we look at him in the UV, you can see makes more sense. Let me go back later and clean it up. Cool. All right, let's do a little bit of the wood here. Let me grab this color, brown. Pop it down. Sometimes it's better not to like just automatically fill in a color. It's kind of nice to kind of mix multiple different hues to add some interesting interactions with the colors. Makes it look more imperfect, which is what we want for like a wood texture especially. And this part's going to catch a lot of light, and then add some suggestion. Don't need to go super hard on the detail here because this is such a small item. I think for the underside, I'll do just a little bit of a green bounce light. A lot more subtle than that. Like that. Okay, I think that works. Doesn't need to be more detail. And then let's do some of the leaves. I think I'm going to do this on UV mode. I'm just going to copy the style that Annie Kwan put here on her paint, her textures. kind of shift it towards more yellowish green. I think this top part is going to be a lot brighter. I do reuse this leaf on the actual rope as well. And it does kind of come in at different angles, so can't really like do 100% top-down lighting on it. There we go, got some leaves now. Not really sure what kind of material this leg part is. Like if it's supposed to be kind of leafy or something. Or just like a piece of cloth. Like a sock or whatever. Kind of bringing in that yellowish green color as well. Kind of add some color variation and interest. Alright, and for the dress, I want to add this dark brown part. So let's get that going. Let's see, where's the dress? It'll be a little bit hard to tell what's happening there. All right. Then I'll go back with an eraser and kind of clean up that line. Whoops. Oh wow, I actually did the opposite. The opposite way. Whoops. Oh no. Ah. Let's see. I should have checked on that a little bit earlier instead of fully committing to it. Alright, this area gets full brown color. Alright, there we go. On the right page. Okay, and then I might just do that in Photoshop. So let's add the little stripe here as well. This one I will also clean up in Photoshop. And there's nothing on the top part of her chest. There is this little line. Okay. Add that contact shadow. I'm going to switch over to the soft brush and kind of soften out this shadow as well. I do also want to clean up her face textures a little bit, because these do utilize the base skin. I just want it to look a little bit better. I like when champions have consistent faces across all of their skins, especially if it's more close to like their canon face. I don't know why they Riot always redoes their champion faces for like every single skin. Well, almost, but like you can see some of the newer ones, they don't really do it as much or at all. Like Samira and Neela or Emilio. But they do it a lot for older champions. Although, like, I guess when they get ASUs, like, they'll have a consistent face for every single skin, like they did with Ari and Caitlyn. And we're just gonna clean this one up a little bit. I want to add in some of that blush as well. usually kind of helps to watch like makeup tutorials and stuff for how to like paint faces. Because people will show you like where to put blush, where to put the contour, whatever. I'm gonna maybe make her lips a tiny bit thicker towards the bottom. Alright, and just smooth out that transition. Because of the top-down lighting, the bottom lip is always going to be catching some light, while the upper lip will be a lot darker. There we go. And I don't like how rough this end of the lip is, the corner. Just cleaning up that edge. There we go. Let me turn off that symmetry line as well. I usually don't like to work with that in the way. Cool. A little bit better. The nose needs some help. And just kind of add just a little bit of a chin. Sometimes people really exaggerate this, and I hate it. Because it's just not consistent with what the champion has. So I'm going to be a little bit careful. I'm going to exaggerate it for now and then fix it up after. I'm making it disappear. There we go. It's just a little something. And then let's add back the highlight. And I'll also saturate. Yeah. I'm just going in with like a very saturated color and just kind of lightly applying it over everything. Keep the skin nice and saturated and healthy looking. Okay. And let's do her eyebrows. Since she has such big bangs and we don't really see the eyebrows that much, I'm gonna kind of make them a little bit smaller and maybe also lower them on the face. Right now she's eyebrowless. All right, and then I want them to be like here. All right, cool. Let's go back down here. I usually like to add just a little strand there, like at the end of the eyebrow, kind of give a little bit of a texture reference, I guess. A little hint of a texture of what like this is. So that way it doesn't look like the eyebrows are just painted on. Cool. The blush is kind of hollowing out her face a little bit, so I'm going to go back in and add some highlights, help round it out. Very light opacity. There we go. That helped. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in and do a highlight on the lip as well. I usually like to use the same color as like the highlight that I would use for the nose or the forehead, just to make it seem natural. There, much better. All right, so let's go ahead and export this to Photoshop and start working in 2D texturing. All right, there we go. All right, so I can see here that the transition between values is really not that clean. And that's just like the nature of Substance Painter, I feel like. So sometimes doing it in Photoshop really helps clean up those transitions, make it a lot smoother. Let me actually show the before and after. So this is with Photoshop cleanup, and then this is without. It's very subtle, but it does make a big difference, to be honest. Makes your work look a lot cleaner. I'm going to take just a little bit of color dodge. Kind of brighten up that area. And then we can also activate symmetry over this UV. and start painting symmetrically. Let's switch up my brush. And I just want to clean up the corner of that mouth. It's a bit too rough in that area. Okay, and then go back in with the smudge. Blend that out. Okay, cool. That should be good. And just do a little bit of smoothing here on the nose area. And then let's kind of sharpen out these eyebrows. I'm going to take a darker value and just kind of shade a little bit towards the bottom. Add some volume. And we can also throw in some hair strands. Okay. And let's clean up the eye makeup. All right. The face looks fine now. Let's move over to something else. So something else I wanted to work on was the dress here. I want to make sure that I'm using these same colors as the concept. So let's pull up the concept. I don't know what's going on. Photoshop is not responding to me. I'm hitting Control-0 and it should zoom out, but it's not. So let me save and quit Photoshop maybe. Does it want to work? No? Okay. Let's save and exit then. All right, should be back. Yep. Now we can add that highlight on the dress. All right, and then we can save and go back to Substance and kind of preview everything that we've done in Photoshop. So before, after, changes on the face are a little bit subtle, but it's definitely much better. And then we were working on the dress, so the dress, got that part down. I think the part that sticks out like a stinger is this. So I'm gonna see I do want to add a bit of highlight there. Make sure that's correct by double checking in substance. Okay. Needs to be a little bit more to the other side. So this stroke is good. All right, let's check it out again. Okay, cool. Trying to keep that line clean. Okay, save. Let's check it out. All right, looks good. I think the bright highlight the bright edge kind of extends a little bit too far. I think about there is fine. All right, and the bee up here. Let's kind of clean up his textures. There's really no right answer to how you should be texturing with your hand paint. You can, if you feel more comfortable in painting in 2D, if you feel more comfortable painting in 3D, it really doesn't matter. It's all about what the final result's gonna look like. There's no right answer. Really, the 3D painting is useful for seeing where the seams are and kind of addressing your lighting. But that's really it. Especially for me, like I feel very comfortable with Photoshop. I have a lot of experience using it, so I feel really good when I paint it with Photoshop with all the tools that I have. So here's the eyeball, and just gonna smooth out transitions. All right, what do the bees look like in this skin line? This guy. All right, he does have a lot more orange, especially towards the bottom. And you don't have to think about Photoshop as the cleanup program. You can also clean up your Photoshop textures in Substance. Doesn't always have to be, rough sketching in 3D and then cleaning it up on 2D. That's just the way that I like to work. Might add some color dodge. Actually, because this particular bee kind of does a lot of flips and stuff, we are going to be seeing a lot of angles of him. So I don't really want to do like a very strict top-down lighting on him. So I might do him kind of even. He'll still have just like a little bit of top-down. And I want to copy the vibrancy of the eyes that they have on this Newton Whelp or Zig's reference on the bee. Alright, I'm going to take the smudge and do those lines. He is missing the pupil, no worries, we'll add that. Alright, let's add the pupil. Maybe a bit bigger. Just a tad. Okay, let's see how that looks. Refresh my texture. Okay. It's kind of cursed, and that's because this highlight needs to reach down to the actual pupil. I might just make it bigger. He is a very small object anyway, so it kind of makes sense to make the highlight a bit bigger. Mayhaps. Okay, nope, it's a little too big. So what I'm going to do is extend the iris. I'm actually going to get rid of the highlight entirely, and then I'll add it back. There we go. And then I'm going to set to darken. Okay. And I'll also smooth out the edges of the pupil. And then we can add our highlight. Okay, and then maybe I'll give it a little bit of an irregular shape. And do just a tiny little bit of brightness towards the bottom of the pupil. There we go. Let's check that out. Much better. I think I'm just gonna do a straight up circle for this highlight. That should help. Okay. And then I'm going to take color dodge and just kind of do a little ring around the entire eyeball. Okay. See how that looks. There we go. And yeah, the eyes are bulging out like way too much, so for the model I'm gonna have to kind of flatten it more against his face, or his whole body, I guess. But yep, that looks better. And then let's work on her hair. Back. Photoshop, what are we doing? Let me move. Oh, it's not responding again. Alright, let me restart Photoshop then. Not sure why that's happening. Stop sending me notifications. Okay. This is our hat. Alright, so the hair, unfortunately we don't have the UVs for it on this file. But I'm just gonna try and amplify what I see already. Alright, and I will be wrapping up the stream here in about 5 minutes, guys, so if you guys have any questions or comments you want to make before we leave, please go ahead and do that. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but on Friday, I'm going to be streaming the Zillion ASU, and I kind of made some progress on his retopology off stream in my free time. So you're going to see he's a little bit more progressed than last time. And I think because we want to finish him towards the end of the month, I'm going to try and like make more progress off stream since I'm only doing 2 a week. So the progress you'll be seeing will be quite rapid. But again, that's because of the Vanguard situation. So far, things are looking very positive. We're not really concerned that much about Vanguard. Like there might be a little bit of downtime when custom skins won't work for a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see how it develops. And then something I didn't really like about this hair is that it looks a little bit desaturated towards the shadows. So I kind of want to saturate those shadows. Especially here. I want to keep it looking vibrant and pretty. All right, let's check out the before and after. It's better. All right, I think I'm gonna move on to something else. Let's see, this little bracelet thing down here. Make sure I update all my layers to use that new texture that we've edited through Photoshop. For some reason, when you update the texture that you're using, it won't automatically update across all the layers. So you have to manually do it. Which, I mean, sometimes it works to my benefit. Because like, maybe I smudged like some of the yellow onto the green, and I don't really want that for the green area, so I kind of update just the yellow texture, and then I have the green texture as how it was before, so it doesn't have that smudge applied onto it, which is kind of nice. So it has its ups and downs, I guess. I'm gonna add paint layer. Shadow here. Alright, I said I was going to work on this bottom part. So, we have about a minute left in the stream. Doesn't look like there's any other questions, but thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate the company. And I hope you'll tune in on Friday when we work on Zillion. I am working on porting over all of my skins from Killer Skins onto RuneForge, and there's still a couple that aren't up on the website just yet. The recent patch kind of messed up with some of the skins, like offsets and stuff, so I need to go back and kind of fix those, but we'll see if I can get those out before the end of the month. But yeah, that's about it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you on Friday. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the video, and yeah, bye. All right.